Got it mounted to the stand finally. Got to get everything else put on. I'll get everything situated, figure out what I still need to go get. I've got to go get some fuel line. I know I need a couple fittings to go on the water pump. A few little odds and ends, stuff like that. So I'm gonna get everything bolted on here, kind of make me a list and figure out what all I need. So hopefully tomorrow I'll run it in and get it all checked out. But it's a big difference. There's already a big difference with the stand, you know, with a complete motor sitting on it versus just a block and heads. The weight wise, it maneuvers around pretty good. So pretty pleased with that. This is a starter we'll run on the 289 for the wagon. It's the later style, high torque. You know, you pick them up off eBay for about $36. You know, it's basically the same one you're going to get at the parts store if you go buy one. You know, most all of them are made in China. You know, it's a brand new unit, not reman. I've used several of them, had decent luck out of them. The only one I've probably, between me and my buddies, we've probably run 15 or so of them. The only ones we've had fail were actually on a big cubic inch higher compression engine, and it strips it out internally. But for this little motor, I believe it'll be just fine. I can't even get one of these old ones rebuilt for what you can buy this one for, so that's what's going to go on it. I pick up these copper lines at the swap meets, the car shows. There's a guy that's always got a lot of the little stuff. You know, you can pick them up there for. The last ones I got, he was selling them for $5. And you know, now if you buy the copper line kit at the parts stores, they're $15, so you can get 3 for what one costs. And they have the ends soldered on them, have a longer fitting. I've had pretty good luck out of them. This is unfortunately the last one I have. So mufflers I'm gonna put on it. They're from Jegs. They're like a Chinese Flowmaster. Chambered muffler. They were having a sale a couple weeks ago on their exhaust stuff, 20% off, which made these mufflers $19.99. So for a cheap muffler, I figured I'd try them out. I've ran the Amco ones a lot. I've got a set of those here that I'm going to put on the wagon, and I bet they're the same identical thing as these. But for $19.99, I figured I'd try them out here on the engine test stand. We'll see how they sound, see how it does. As far as oil, I'm running Rotella 1540 and the Lucas break-in additive with the zinc. So
On one of my videos, the prior videos when I was talking about the setup with the test stand, another YouTuber, DIY Misfit Mechanic, he commented about the fuel pump, you know, that I could use it as a priming pump and then turn it off and the mechanical pump would still draw through that one. Straight through design if it'd still pull. So we talked about it and I tested it, and you could draw through it with it off. So I hooked it up that way and it worked out great. I mean, that, you know, when you're doing a first start, you want it to start fast. So I mean, that works out good. That, you know, the car, you can turn that on and go ahead and have the carburetor full, and then you can turn it off, because you can actually hear the fuel pump, the sound change once the bowls are full. It actually changed. So turned it off and then just let the mechanical pump do its job. Works out good that way, so shout out to him for recommending it. Definitely want to give a special shout out to my good friend Matt. He came over today and was here, helped me finish hooking up the hoses and, you know, everything to do the first start. And so really appreciated him being here to help. But worked out. We dug through my stash of hoses and stuff, and we found this upper hose here. We just had to cut a little bit off of it. It actually works out good for a top one, and the one on the bottom over there, we didn't have to cut it off. Just found, I don't even remember what it's off of, but it works out perfect for this. And like I said, this old radiator is out of a Dodge Murata. My buddy George gave me the radiator, and so he gave me the radiator and the electric fan. So shout out to both of them. Something happened with the phone when I was trying to record the first startup. I thought it was recording, and once it was running, and it'd been running about 13 minutes, and I come around to look to see at the phone to see if it was recording, and it wasn't. So at that time I took my other phone out and I recorded a little bit of footage with it while it was running above 2 grand. And I have footage, you know, I recorded after, but I wanted to get the first start recorded, and which I didn't. So nothing I can do about that now. But the engine stand, the test stand is I quit hitting the garage door opener. Is pretty stable, even revving the engine. It didn't move any. I mean, it's very stable. I'm very pleased with it.